Hi, I am James Hedger Crooks, owner of JHC Films, and I am working on a new documentary about the paranormal in Pittsburgh. This has been a subject that I've always wanted to do something with. I've always been interested in ghost hunting shows, and I know there's people who's like, they don't it's fabricated for reality, or just, fake, and, all this stuff. However, it's something that's always fascinated me, and I wanted to bring my talents in the filmmaking field to try to uncover these secrets for myself and bring a few people along with me. While I am the documentary filmmaker in this, I'm also a subject, and I plan on having a few other subjects, at least 2 other people, maybe up to 3 or 4. I plan on getting interviews with people in the paranormal field around the Pittsburgh area, maybe people who are a little bit more well-known, but that's all dependent on if they'll want to talk to me. I also want to get insights from people in the scientific community who might have different explanations for things that go bump in the night, apart from, it's a ghost. There's some scientific theories that have, I guess, more basis in reality that could be interesting to be like, could this be the explanation? And people are simply attributing something to ghosts that might not be. Not saying that ghosts aren't real, but that a large majority of stuff might be something else. Kind of akin to the original Ghost Hunters show. I would also like to interview people in the religious community to get their insight onto what these, demons and angels are, what ghosts are, what they believe type deal, because I feel like that would be a good insight into specific biases, because I'm not a religious person myself. So I'm not coming at it where I think these things are everywhere. I'm coming at it more scientifically, I guess, but wanting to believe, wanting to have something out there. It's kind of hard to explain it, but I think having that background or lack thereof, I think, is a unique perspective. And I think having different backgrounds is important, which is why, there's me who wants to believe, finds compelling evidence, online and stuff like that, but wants to seek it out for myself. But I also want to get people who don't believe at all and are here not necessarily to debunk, but more so to see what happens. And that's very important. I don't want people coming in here with specific goals in mind to either prove or disprove. We're trying to figure out what this stuff is, I guess, is the best way to describe it. We're not going out here trying to be like, this place in Pittsburgh is definitely haunted, or this place is definitely not haunted. We're going to supposed haunted locations and seeing what we can find, and really just trying to find the truth for yourself. And that's, if anything, I want this documentary to have is finding the truth for yourself, both for the subjects involved, but also you, the viewer. However you come into this, I want you to come away with it, not necessarily change one way or the other, but at least reflective on whatever you might have, any previous notions you might have had on this subject. At least have some sort of reflection on that. And I do believe there's something out there. I don't think it's, exactly what certain religious texts or whatever might be saying, demons and angels and all this stuff. It could be other dimensional things, or, time displacement shenanigans. The field of science is a lot more wild than I think anyone really gets it, and it leaves a lot of open room to just weird things existing and not necessarily a clear explanation for why they exist, but it's still something that we should try to strive to understand. And I feel like that sentiment comes along with a lot of paranormal investigators, at least, the good ones. But that's something that I want to have in this documentary of, what are these things? And that's part of the reason I want to talk to people in the scientific community. More than likely, they're all going to say, no, they aren't real. But I don't want it to just be, no, they are not real, next question. I want it to be, here's what I think they are. Chaos theory shenanigans, quantum entanglement stuff, things like that. Not necessarily, they're not real, it's all in your head, you know. I'm just a filmmaker who's making a documentary, who wants to find out if these things are true and what exactly are they. So I hope you join me on this journey. I will be posting updates kind of regularly, or at least whenever they come through. I don't expect this documentary to be over and done with in a year. I fully expect this to be kind of a long haul thing, just because I'm busy with school, I'm busy with work. You know, this is kind of a passion project that I want to do. I have the resources to do it, and it's a good resume builder. You know, it's something I can show for my senior year as like, I did this thing. Something that I can be proud of at my end of college. You know, showcasing what I have to offer to the world. Now, this won't be my only project. I'll have the, occasional video edit, that's on my channel now. The occasional school project, will be uploaded, of course. I hope you all join me on this, and I will catch you later.